Alright, so we're now here in DaVinci Resolve, and all we have to do now is basically import our shots that we rendered out, layer them in here, and then do a very simple compositing, masking a technique on that final shot to reveal the logo and slogan of Red Bull. So first up, let's go down here, let's go over to this tab and import those shots that we rendered out. So first up, got shot 1. You can see it's an image sequence, but what DaVinci Resolve does is it condenses it into one clip. So that's super convenient for us. So now I'll just go back to shot 2 here. You can basically just drag and drop them into your media pool. And so we'll just finish up with shot number 3 and then shot 4, drag those in. So now if we go back to the editing workspace, we can just start dragging and dropping all of these in. So shot 1, we'll drag that in to the timeline, push that back to frame 0, and you can see it's kind of small right now because I'm zoomed out quite a bit. So if you just hit Alt and then scroll on your mouse wheel, it'll zoom in and you can actually see what you're working with. So shot 1, move on to shot 2, drag that in there and snap it along, shot 3, and shot 4. So if we play this now, this is what it'll look like. So everything is basically done now. We just need to set up that final reveal here on the last shot, where as the Red Bull can swipes across the screen, we'll have a mask that shows the actual text saying gives you wings. Then apart from that, we can just do some basic color grading. So let's just start off and make this mask here. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the playhead and we're going to go to the frame that we want the text to start revealing itself. So I'm going to say this frame here seems a good place to start. So on this frame, we're going to press B on the keyboard to bring out the blade tool. We're just going to cut it by clicking there. And now we have this clip here in the timeline to actually start editing and putting that mask on. So with this clip selected, you can come down here to the Fusion tab, click on that little magic wand, and now from here we're basically working in a node workspace. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some text and then also a mask. So first up, let's click on this merge node, and we're going to come up here and click on the text. So now with the text selected, we can just start typing in the slogan, which is of course gives you wings. Great, so now we've got the text here. You can just move it across like so, but now we need to add in a mask. So now if you just click on the merge to node, you come up here to these shapes. You can just choose on the rectangle, and that's basically going to create a rectangular shaped mask for you. So you'll see we can move it across the screen and it'll mask out those words for us. So what we want to do is make this an inverted mask. So if you come over here with the rectangle selected, you can click invert. And now we'll be able to keyframe the reveal of these in conjunction with the Red Bull can. So if we bring this playhead back to the first frame, we can come over here to its properties and we can start keyframing the center. As you can see, we can move it like this. So we can start to keyframe that. So on this beginning frame here, I'm just going to move it across like so and keyframe it there. Then I'm just going to start moving through the frames. So next frame, I'm going to move it across a little bit to reveal that, and it's already keyframing this for us. So it's just a matter of, I'm just hovering over here on the timeline, and with my left and right arrow keys, I'm just switching between frames. So next frame, just move it across a little bit more. That's already keyframed. Next frame, a little bit more. And you get the idea. We're basically just revealing the slogan here. So it's going to get to a point soon where it's all completely revealed. And from there, we can just leave it as is and move on. So now if we play this, you'll see, if I just deselect that here, we play this now, you'll see it's a pretty smooth and seamless transition. But we can change this a little bit more. So if we come over back to the first frame, we can actually play with the soft edge here and just soften it up a little bit more. That way it's not so much of a hard mask and it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye. So I can see with the rectangle on the first frame it's still showing a little bit of this. So I'm actually just going to keyframe it. So on the first frame it's going to have 0 softness. Then the second frame I'm just going to increase it. Like so. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, let's go back to the editing workspace. So we now have a completed ad here to use. The only thing left that we can do to really spice this up is add a little bit of color grading to the shots. So if we come down here to the color tab, it's going to load up the color workspace, and from here we can just do some basic color correction. So I'm just going to move this out to a part of the shot that's a little bit more dynamic like this. And you can literally just start playing with all of these settings here to sort of boost the image. So we're going to start with the contrast. I'm just going to bring that up a tad bit here. Something like 1.1 seems good. And for the saturation, I'm also going to increase that a little bit. For the gain, I'm just going to use this wheel down here and bring it up just a little bit, just to make it that bit more vibrant. So 1.06 seems pretty good. Now for the gamma, I might just bring that down just a touch. 0.02 seems good. And then the last 3 things I'm going to change here are the highlight. So if we bring the highlight up a little bit, something like 15, 14.5. And then the shadows as well, I'm just going to bring them up slightly. The final one here is the color boost. I'm just going to go something like 5, seems pretty good. So now this is what it's looking like, which is not too bad. And this is what it was looking like before. So depending on what you want to do here, this is totally optional, totally up to you, but it definitely adds a little bit of flair to your shots. So if you want to, you can also copy and paste the data across each one. So for example, shot 1, I can just Control C here, click on this shot, and then Control V, and that'll copy the data across. Like so. Now to actually finish this off and render this sequence out, all you have to do is come over here to the Deliver tab, and from here, basically we're just going to name the file, make sure it's in the formatting that we would like, so MP4 H.264s, it's got the correct resolution and frame rate, and from here we just name the file to whatever we please. So we're just going to name this Red Bull Ad Skillshare, and then you just choose a location for that to save out to. Great, so once that's done, you basically just need to hit this Add to Render Queue, and from there, down here, you can click Render All, and that will finish off the sequence for you. Alright guys, that's the end of my product rendering masterclass. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see what you guys have created, so please tag me on my socials or leave your project in the projects and resources below.